Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Open Shutter. It's the last one of June, and time is just flying by. So, I have a special treat for you guys. Jonathan Russell is on board with us. Unfortunately, his webcam isn't working, but I promise you that he's there. Tell me
Hello.
to say hello that he's there. So, big thanks to Jonathan for taking the time to chat about just his photography. And if you don't know his handle on Instagram, it's what is it, Stig of the Six?
Yeah, that's the one.
I'm just curious,
Six
what's the
IX.
what's the background on the handle?
Stig of the Dump. Have you ever heard of that book?
No.
Okay, so Stig of the Dump
What?
was a book about a Neanderthal. A kid finds a Neanderthal and they become friends. He lives in a garbage dump. So it's just, I feel
Okay.
sometimes like a modern day caveman. So it just comes from that.
Okay. Interesting. I gotta check out that book, man.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So, yeah, no, sounds that way. Yeah. So anyway, go to his link handles in the description of this video, and it's gonna be a fun chat. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Paul, based in Toronto. Have a YouTube channel that you're conveniently on, and if you don't know who I am, do vlogs, documentaries, host this show with Evans and Bryan, who I think are busy tonight. So just me and Jonathan, which is fine. And yeah, encourage you to check out my channel after if you don't know exactly what I'm about, because I just like making stuff and talking to people. So it kind of goes hand in hand. And if you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Google Podcast, big thanks again to Jonathan. Maybe Jonathan, for the viewers, listeners, maybe just kind of like a quick intro about yourself.
Sure. Yeah, my name's Jonathan. I'm 34. I'm originally from England, but I have dual citizenship. So I moved here. It'll be 5 years tomorrow, actually.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Happy
yeah,
anniversary.
thank you. So this is a
Yeah.
nice way to celebrate, I guess, talking about this.
Yeah.
I was never really into photography until the first lockdown hit. That's when I
Oh, so
started.
recent.
Yeah,
Recent.
yeah.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it just started. We were all locked down, and I just started
Okay.
taking photos on my phone. I was going on hikes quite a lot. So I live
Mm,
in Midtown around Young and Eglinton area.
hmm.
Um, so going down to the brickworks and things like that, and
Yeah.
just exploring some of the parks around this area. And I just started
Yeah.
taking photos on my phone, and then it just kind of grew
That's
from
nice.
there.
Oh, so pretty recent, eh? So like you never like dabbled in photography before 2020?
No, not really. No, just maybe
Oh,
loosely on a phone, fucking around or something. But that was it.
yeah. Interesting. Yeah, no, that's yeah. I mean, it's good. I mean, I guess obviously a lot of people use like walks just to like get away from like the craziness that was going on in the world, and it just seems that things are getting back to normal. So, um, yeah, that's really interesting because your stuff is really good. So, like, just how you approach shots and colors, and like, do you like shooting like sunset and night stuff
Yes, mostly that's
primarily?
predominantly what I shoot. Primarily, it started off, um, like I said, in the lockdown, and so
Yeah.
it started off with those walks, and those were more in the daytime. But then when I started exploring further afield and further into the city, it
Mm,
sort of became nighttime because then it was just like the whole city was empty and everything was like
okay.
everywhere was empty and dead, and I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
Me and my friends were going out and kind of riding around on bikes and stuff and just
yeah.
having fun. So
Okay.
there was a lot of nighttime shooting in that period. And then when I started working again, my shifts, I was finishing later in the evening, so I'd just go out and shoot in the evening after work.
Oh, so yeah,
Yeah, so
timing thing too.
exactly that. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I really love a sunset whenever I can get out and get one.
Yeah,
I
no, for sure.
try to do some sunrises here and there, but I'm not the
Yeah.
best at getting out of bed in the morning.
Well, it's tough. It's tough in the summertime when it's 5:30. So
Exactly. Yeah.
that's tough. That's tough. Maybe for the viewers, I mean, do you mind if I show your Instagram page and then
No, no,
kind
no,
of
go
just show
for it.
people your work? Yeah, because honestly like only 2 years ago that you started. It's pretty phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think so. Also, just curious, like, where do you sell your stuff since you're advertising it?
I'm having my own website. My friend's helping me build a website, but right now just
Nice.
through Instagram and stuff. So if anybody wants anything,
Yeah.
it's a shame my camera's not working because I just had
Yeah.
some samples made up and they look really,
Oh
really good.
no.
Some nice canvases and some nice metal prints. And I'm gonna
Okay.
do. I'm going to do an acrylic one as well and see how that looks. So I'm just starting to move into printed photography and
Wow.
trying to figure out that domain as well.
Yeah. Where do you get your stuff framed and canvassed and all that?
I've been using a couple of local ones, but I've just started using Poster Jack. Somebody,
Oh,
I was speaking to Jay Ghazi actually, and he recommended them. He said that
oh yeah,
I mean, they're based in the city anyway, so they're a local company
yeah,
and they're Canadian based. So that's important to me as well, right? And I was
absolutely.
really, really blown away by the quality of stuff that I got from them last time. And
Mm,
it comes with a reprint guarantee as well. So if you're not happy with it, they will
really?
reprint it for you. Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Excellent. If you guys are watching, shout out. Also, congrats on being featured by the CBC and CN Tower.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's cool. How did that come about being featured by CBC?
I was just using their hashtag CBC your GTA.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
is the photo here somewhere?
I think they use two. I
Mm,
think they use that one there. I
on the
think that
right,
you're just hovering on the one on the right. Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think if you clicked over onto, or maybe you can't do that. But yeah, they use that one I
Mm,
think for sure. And there's another one, another sunset one I think but this
mm,
time from Paulson Pier.
right. Yeah. Yeah, man. These are like you get some great light, eh? When when you go out, jeez, man.
Well,
And
it's
do you like edit them? Like, do you edit them when you get home?
yes, yeah, for sure. Like this
Hmm.
is what. So for a long time, when I was first starting out, like I said, I was using my phone and very rudimentary editing software. But I also had an attitude of I wanted things to be as uh, the image to be as true as possible, as low
Hmm.
amount of editing as possible. And
Yeah, I
then
get
I completely switched my thinking and realized that I could actually be very, very creative in the edit and not only bring
you.
out things that were there and make the picture more like how I saw it, but in other cases like this, I could bring out colors that weren't there at all and
Yeah,
really, really
yeah,
play with it and manipulate it.
absolutely.
Um, and it's all been a learning process. So now I will shoot
Mhm.
with different white balances as well. So the white balances
Okay.
will influence. So this
Mhm.
shot, there's a number that will be very similar to it, but they'll have very, very different colors because I shot them with different white balance. And then in the edit, I can bring out those different tones.
Okay. And which white balances do you use the most? Like, are there a couple that you use a lot?
I'm trying to think what the preset. I just use the preset one on my camera. I think
Yeah.
obviously it just depends on the situation.
Yeah.
But normally what I'll do is I'll just when I'm out, I'll just flick through and see what looks good
Let's see
and
what
pick.
looks cool. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Using the rule of does it look cool?
Yeah. So
Our
that's I
rule.
mean that's how
Does
I
it look
edit
cool?
too, right? When I start
Yeah. Does it look
editing,
cool?
I
Yeah.
don't
Exactly.
I don't have any idea where that edit's going to take me. I do it very
No.
organically. I just start playing
No.
around with it and see where I end up.
Yeah, and that's really the great thing about photography is that, there are rules, but I mean, once you understand the rules, you can break them and just do whatever you want. Like you can, I mean, that's the great thing about it is that, in the end, it's art, right? So,
Exactly, yeah.
yeah. And what do you use to edit? Like Lightroom, Photoshop, Snapseed?
I was using Snapseed to begin with, and then I
Yeah,
started using Lightroom Mobile.
yeah,
So I've just my family have been very supportive of this. Obviously,
yeah.
photography is quite an expensive hobby to get into,
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
is why I'm trying to monetize it
Yeah,
to
man.
help pay for more equipment, traveling, and all that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So they helped me buy a laptop. So now I'm trying to figure out how
Nice.
to edit on a computer. So
Yeah. Oh,
switching
cool.
up to Lightroom proper,
Yeah,
and then probably look into Photoshop and stuff like that after that.
yeah. It never ends, man. Like there's always something to learn. Like you're never really done.
Exactly, yeah,
You're never really done. There's always something to do.
yeah. So yesterday I went out shooting just in my neighborhood. I'll do that quite a lot. Just practice. I was just
Mm,
practicing daytime long exposures. Just waiting for
yeah,
the
like I like
buses to go and
this.
try and
Yeah,
practice them.
yeah, I like this. This is nice.
Thank you.
That's nice. Yeah. So how long did you have to wait for the streetcar?
What there?
Yeah.
Not long. It's at Queen,
No.
so they're pretty regular. But what
Yeah.
happened there was a homeless guy got in the shot before then. So there's like 3 shots of like this homeless guy forcing me to take photos of him.
Mm,
I'm trying to explain to him that
mm,
it's set up for a long exposure, and he's too drunk, and he's sort of
yeah.
like he's swaying around, so he can't
Yeah.
yeah, he can't stay still. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
and then I had to get him out of the way, and then someone drunk got in front of the camera. So I think that was maybe the third streetcar in the end that came by. But
Well, you nailed it because it's clean. Like you can see the building behind it. It's nice.
thank you. Well, I realized what's quite handy for shooting these is I will set up the frame and then I'll just use an exposure tile. I'll use bulb so I can hit it just
Hmm.
when the streetcar enters the scene and then let it go as soon as it
Yeah.
exits.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's a great corner, right, for that for this kind of shot. Plus, like the building has like a nice backdrop to it. I think like there's
Yeah, I
some
agree.
symmetry there. There's
There's some nice architecture.
yeah, yeah, it's nice. Like whenever you do long exposure, yes, you need like the right kind of traffic, but also think about your background because that just makes the shot I think is more interesting. Um, yeah, man, like geez, like so like where's like your favorite spot? Like do you have like a favorite spot or like a spot that you want to get to?
I've always liked Tommy Thompson Park, even though I haven't shot from there a
Yeah.
lot like in the last couple of years. I've got
Mm,
I'm not quite as sprightly as I was. I've got a bit of arthritis.
mm.
So without a bike, Tommy Thompson can be hard to manage because
Yeah, I know it's a
it's a
big
bit
one.
of a
It's a big
trek.
park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I normally hit at Polson Pier. I do like the island.
Yeah.
I was a little naughty recently, and if you scroll up a little bit,
Mhm.
there's a little bit more up one, and then that one on the left there from that rooftop.
Mm.
No, no, just down a bit. That's from the island.
This is from the island? Oh, there you
That's
got the
that's from
reflection.
that's from Ashbridges Bay.
Yeah.
And so then that was just playing around with shade and color in the edit.
Mm. That reflection though is nice, eh?
Yeah, yeah, I hit it at the right moment. It was gorgeous.
Damn, man. So you're always like paying attention to like what's around you because like timing is everything. So like you're always constantly just like looking.
I am now, yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
when I first started. Like I said, it's all been like a steep learning curve or whatever. But now
Damn.
I'm better with hitting my settings and stuff like that. So I kind of have an
Mm.
idea of what I need to be on, and also what I'm actually looking for and stuff. So I know when to go out as well, right? Like I know after it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
rained, I can look for puddles and stuff. And
yeah. Puddles are
whereas
great.
before, I would just turn up and just shoot what was there, and now I'm just a bit more patient and waiting around for shots and
Yeah.
looking for other things as well.
Yeah, no, I mean that's just like the growth of photographers that you just learn, and then like the more that you do it, like the more you're gonna understand like what's gonna work and like what's not. So um, it's cool though, like the journey, right? Like from where you start to like where you're now. It's like oh, now I know some stuff, and now I can like plan things out more, and it's kind of
Absolutely.
cool, right? It's interesting.
I agree. I love it.
Yeah.
I thought I was doing all right, and then when like this past, I would say since probably Christmas time is when I've just been, oh, I think I've like really like I thought I was good, but now I think I'm actually good, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I think I've really got a
Yeah.
handle on this.
Yeah. Like, was there a certain moment that kind of made you feel like I'm actually good, or did someone tell you something, or it was just like a feeling for you?
I think it was just, I think it was just one particular day when I went out shooting and everything I'd shot was great, and it just been like
Mm,
before there was so many just random attempts and stuff like that, especially with long
yeah.
exposures of trying to get the timing and the f-stop right and
No.
all
I
that,
know.
and
I
right.
know.
So then it was
Yeah.
just like, oh, okay. And then when I went home and edited everything, they turned out great as well. And I was just like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I think I've nailed it.
Yeah, no, that's again, that's what separates, because like everyone has a phone, so I mean everyone has a camera, so there's always that assumption that oh everyone can be a photographer, and it's like well not really because there's like a process involved, and not everyone wants to spend the time and energy with the process, right? So that's how you
Yeah,
separate yourself.
yeah. It took me.
Yeah,
It was a year of going out and shooting on a phone basically, and then
yeah,
I got my camera about a year ago. So it's been
yeah.
a year. There's a photo there from the islands with the rocks on it, and that marks
Yeah.
like the year anniversary of me getting the camera.
Okay, down a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. That one there on the right, if you just go up a little bit. There.
I see. I
Yeah.
see. Progress, not perfection. Yeah, exactly.
So even then I can see where I've masked, you can see on the rocks there,
Hmm.
that black shadow. That shadow wasn't
Okay.
there. Like that's just from where I've been masking, and I'm using
Yeah.
Lightroom Mobile and I'm using my finger, so I had to work that
Yes.
into the shot because I couldn't quite mask it how I
Mhm.
wanted to.
Yeah. Man, look at that. Look at that sky though. Jeez. I gotta follow you around when I want to go shoot sunset. You want good light? Just ask Jonathan. He'll tell you. Do you use an app for like for sunset and stuff to see like where like if it's good light or something?
Yeah, I've gotten better at recognizing cloud patterns and stuff like that, but
Mm,
there is an app. Sun Calculator is probably the best one because it tells you
yeah.
you can figure out an angle that you want to be, right? So I knew that like it was the sunset was going to be around the horizon there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of like way over on the right or on the left, it was going to be
Yeah.
like the sun just set around the CN Tower. So I knew I was going to get some good light there. But there's another one, Skyfire, I think is the app I use. It tells me whether it's going to be a good sunset or not,
Yeah.
which is pretty. It's normally all right, but you have to constantly keep checking it because
Mm,
it can change on you,
it
which is
changes.
accurate because the weather changes all the time, right?
It's weather. It changes.
Yeah, especially here because you can like
Right.
there's times when I'm sat at home and I'll look outside and I'll be like, oh, it's kind of rainy or whatever, and I'll think I won't
Yeah.
bother going out to shoot a sunset, and then
Yeah.
within an hour the storm's blown through, and then you've got like a
And then you
nice,
get the great light,
really
right?
lovely, yeah,
Always after after a rainstorm, you get the green light,
yep. But
guaranteed.
the problem is that you think the rainstorm's going to last an hour or two, and here it
I
lasts like
know.
10,
That's
10 minutes, and then it's gone.
you got your bag packed by the door, just like waiting to go. It's like, okay, we're gonna go.
Pretty much, it's always ready to go.
Yeah, always ready to go. And you're shooting the moon these days, too.
I was just trying. I got
Mm,
a zoom lens again. My family supporting me. They bought me a zoom lens for Christmas. Is
nice,
what I asked for, and
nice.
yeah, that was it.
What's
It's
up?
surprisingly tricky to get, and I printed that, and it did not look very good. The
No.
image quality was very low,
Mm,
um, which is a shame because it looks great on the screen.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, that thing really moves fast. It moves a lot faster than I thought it would. So there's still a lot to learn there. I would like to start
Mm,
trying to learn some astrophotography too at some point as well. But
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
there's so much exciting things that you can learn
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can really kind of drill down to like other niches, and then just ask people like, how do you do certain shots? And that's just the power of Instagram, even like in Toronto, because there's so many photographers that you can ask people that are into astro, like local people, and you can meet up with them and you can learn from them, right? So
Exactly. Yeah.
it's the power. It's the power of social. I mean, I said this last week. It's like, you can use Instagram as your portfolio, sure, and the likes and the followers, but I think the real power is the people, because people know things, and then you can ask them and like leverage them so you can learn, because doing it by yourself is cool, but after a while, I think you want to pick people's brains too, right? Because for me, it's like I always get stuck in my own head, and then sometimes not that I get bored, but like I don't like I'm not getting the motivation. So when I talk to other people, they kind of like give me the spark.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
So you know what I mean?
Well,
So
I haven't actually shot with anybody else really. I
no,
because I started during COVID. Obviously,
yeah,
it was very much a
mm,
thing I was doing by myself. But I would very much like to start doing that. I speak to a lot of people online. I
yeah,
great great community on here,
yeah,
and a lot of people that inspire me just through their support, but also from like when I see someone's dropped a really good photo, I'm like, oh, I have to up my game. You know what I mean? I have to
hmm,
start doing better, and I
yeah,
have to.
exactly.
Like I said,
Um,
I was shooting daytime long exposures, and that's because Simple Pics by Lynn. She like a
yeah,
month or so ago posted like a really sweet long like daytime long exposure. And I was like, oh, I have to learn how to
yeah,
do that now.
yeah. You gotta do it too. Did you get it? Is it on here?
No, I only took it yesterday, but I
Ah,
was only practicing in the neighborhood. So the
got
next
it.
time I go out, probably over the
Yes.
weekend, I might try and get a decent one downtown somewhere.
Yeah, this is really nice. Damn, man. Really
But
good.
yeah, again, that's just catching it after the rain, and then
Jeez.
honing in, really
That's
bringing out the warmth. But I love that one because it flew under the radar a little bit on Instagram. It didn't get that many likes or anything, but it's one of my favorites because I just think it
oh, that's
looks
great. I would frame this one.
right. It looks cool. It
I
looks
would,
like a
I would.
dojo or something.
Yeah, or try to sell this to like TD or something.
Yeah,
I
I
would.
should.
But hey, but you haven't seen this one before. It's just good because you have like the complete like building as the reflection, not just like because sometimes you see the shot, but it's only like part of the building. You have the
Yeah,
entire thing.
yeah.
So that was one big ass puddle, man.
It was huge. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
There's
really
no
big.
editing to like kind of make the puddle full. It's like this was actually how it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was shooting off. They've got the benches kind of things. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was off one of them,
Yeah.
but I'm not. And then with the thing in the middle, yeah. So it's
Hmm.
like the camera was just hovering over the bench.
Damn. Yeah, it's nice. The green against the orange. It's cool. I dig that. Um, yeah, man. Like it's cool. Yeah, like that. That's a classic shot right there.
Yeah, yeah. I have that. I took that specifically for my cousin. So
Oh,
my cousin and her husband, Amy and Dave, are very supportive of me in a
mm,
lot of regards, and they
yeah.
love basketball. They're huge Raptors fans. They have season tickets. So as a
Oh
Christmas
yeah.
present, because
Nice.
I was being cheap. I didn't have a
Hey,
lot of money, so I was like, "Hey,
mhm.
here's some framed photos, guys." So I gave them to my family,
Okay.
and that one I went out and specifically took for them in the middle of
Oh,
winter
cool.
too. But you can't tell. It's like that's
No,
like
you can't. You can't tell.
yeah,
The
it's
only
like
thing you tell is
December.
like the bare branches, but you can't
Yeah,
tell. Um, yeah, if you go there in the summertime, you get some really cool action shots of people playing basketball. You get some really cool action shots. So lots of good stuff in that little area. Plus, like distillery district is down the street, so it's a good little area. Yeah, like even so you say do you like shooting black and white?
do I what?
Do you like shooting black and white?
I haven't done that much
No.
black and white, to be honest. I
Yeah.
have that. There's one that I really like of a homeless guy that's lying on the floor that I think is very
Mm.
powerful in black and white.
Is it on you?
Um, it should be if you scroll down. Yeah, that's one of them. If you go up, just above that one. So there's that, and that's like him and the reflection in the puddle. But there's another
Oh,
one that's
here?
clearer. No, 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 no.
No, not that
If you
one.
exit that, in the middle there below.
This one?
Yeah,
Hmm. Oh, there he is. Oh, we can't even see him.
yeah. But there's another one further down where you can see him in clear view. That's the one I was talking about. But yeah, this one is
Uh,
a bit more abstract.
this one?
There, yeah.
Damn. Wow. So like, it's off his wheelchair, and man, okay.
It was a hot day. He was just passed out in the middle of the floor.
Yeah. Jeez.
For anybody wondering, he is okay. He was
Yeah.
fine. He was just sleeping in the sun. Yeah.
Mm,
I bought him some water after I took the shot.
yeah. So like, what's like your approach with shooting like the homeless? Like, do you talk to them first? Do you talk to them after? Like, or do you don't talk to them at all? Like, how do you kind of like
It
approach this
depends
kind
on
of
the situation.
stuff? Hmm.
Very much depends on the situation. But I don't try
Hmm.
and talk to them before. I don't want anything. I'm about capturing moments rather than creating them, if that makes sense. So I
Yeah.
don't want
Yeah.
anything kind of staged or anything like that. So
Hmm.
everything you see is organic. It's happened that way,
Organic. Yeah.
apart from
Yeah.
the editing or whatever, right? So,
Yeah.
but no, afterwards, like if the guys like there's some I have of like guys in tents in the street and stuff like that, and that's in the middle of
Mm,
winter. So I just check on them,
yeah.
asking them if they want any food or water or anything. If
Sure.
there's anything I
Sure.
can do to help.
Yeah.
Um,
It's interesting.
but I think that's something I would like to do more of as well as highlighting that because I think it's very very
Yeah, I
important.
saw your story about like the homeless issues. So like are you like getting like involved in like that cause or
They only just reached out to me the other day on Instagram,
mm,
but I would very much like to do more of it. So I'm hoping to get more involved in the future. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. 'Cause I think
Because
that's yeah.
it's crazy. Rent's gone up 20%. and there's just
Yeah.
every time I go out shooting, I see more and more people with mental health issues, and I see more and more people
Yeah.
experiencing homelessness, and the
Yeah.
streets are rife with it, and essentially nothing's being done about it.
No, it's only getting worse, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. If you follow, you ever follow the Humans of New York page on Instagram?
Yes. Yeah. I've seen some of their stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
cool, right? Because it gives you the story behind the person. Like it's not just a photo; it's like the story behind that person, which is always, I think, fascinating. Which I think is kind of cooler than the photo because you get the person's story. So I think there was actually someone here in Toronto that did something similar with the homeless, and basically was all about these people's stories. So I think. I think most times people just pass the homeless on the street and they don't even think who are these people, but they all have stories, right? And they all des-
Absolutely. Yeah.
deserve respect and compassion, and so I mean, the more light that we can shed on the cause and like trying to fix it, like I'm not a politician, like I'm not like I don't
No.
know, but I mean, like we're all human, right? So
Exactly. Yeah.
you know, um, yeah, lens balls always work too, eh?
Yes. I
Oh,
unfortunately lost mine.
oh
Um,
no.
I
Yesterday. Where'd you lose it?
unfortunately, but fortunately, at Ashbridges Bay, I was
Oh
with a
man.
friend, and
Um,
I went to put my backpack on, and I left the compartment door
mm,
like zip unlocked when I was putting it on, so everything flew
oh
out. All
no.
of my lenses, my lens ball. Thankfully, none of the
Yeah.
lenses broke, but yeah, the lens ball was it fell down some rocks and into the water. Unfortunately, it
Mm,
was a write off.
damn. That sucks. Yeah, lens balls always work. Just makes the shot different, especially when you've shot something a lot or you're not getting like the right vibe. Just use a lens ball because sometimes you can just, kind of like a pun, but flip it on its head. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and they're not
So there's
expensive.
definitely some shots like that.
Yeah,
I liked playing around with long exposures with it as well. I thought that was cool. You could get
yeah,
some kind of cool
it makes
effects
it
there.
different. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See that you've been to the famous parking garage.
Yeah, for sure. I've been there a couple times.
Yeah.
Last time I got chased out of there.
Did you? Yeah,
Yeah,
they
there's
don't
one
like
I took of.
photographers up there.
They've closed the upstairs level apparently. I've
Yeah,
been back a couple times this year, and I keep getting turfed out by security.
yeah, they don't like photographers up there. Meanwhile, there's like a million photos from up here, so
Yeah.
basically. Um, Terrio plays, cool, cool, cool. Man, winter vibes. It's like it's summer now, but we're going.
Yeah.
Oh, Heineken, little product placement.
Yeah.
That's cool. Is this you?
Yeah, that is me. Yeah. Just having a beer.
Just having a beer, just enjoying the view, eh?
Freezing off. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I think there's 3 I posted around that time. One of those got picked up by BlogTO. I
Oh,
think
nice.
that was a moment where I was like, "Oh, like
Yeah.
I've got something here," because these were all with my phone too.
Right. Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's cool, man. It's all part of the journey, right? Like it's all.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so happy that
It's
I,
yeah. Like
um,
it's
I invested in a camera and that I've continued to invest in. It's nice to have found something that I really, really enjoy.
yeah. Sorry, Brian. Were you there for like 20 minutes?
I've been here for like 10.
Sorry, I was sharing Instagram page. I couldn't see you, man.
It's all good. All good.
All right, this is Brian. Jonathan.
Nice to meet you, Brian.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm doing all right, thanks.
Yeah, Brian had some comments about the homeless issue. I see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know the shot that you're talking about.
Yeah, the one with the homeless guy in the
Yeah.
Porsche.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's just that's just a contrast against like just like life.
Yeah. I don't know if Jonathan can see what we're showing. I can always pop that shot up too.
Yeah, yeah. If you want, man, pop
Yeah,
that
do
if
it.
you want. Yeah.
Let me just share that then.
Oh, is Evans here too, or did he leave?
No, he was at his kid's grad tonight.
Yeah, he was in the chat though.
Yeah, you can pop in the chat when you're sitting waiting for the grad to start, though.
This shot, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's powerful.
Yeah. Like, that's just
That's
a
an amazing
contrast.
shot. Yeah. Who took that?
I did.
Wow.
Nice. Is this in the city?
Yeah, it's in Toronto, right in front of Old City Hall, actually.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Queen. Yeah, that's yeah. I mean,
That's the city.
that's
Yep.
the city right there. The rich get richer, and you know.
Yep.
Yep. Unfortunately so.
Oh, cool, man. Like, would you like, I mean, you've only been at it for like 2 years, so do you have any like advice for people that are just starting in photography, kind of like coming from your background?
Yeah, just practice. Just do it as much as much as you're able to, as much as you can, as much as you want to. Just like you don't always have to shoot for posting on Instagram or for any of
Yeah.
this. Like the way I look at it is there's no bad photos, there's just lessons that you can learn, right? So it's like
Yeah,
it's about
exactly.
improving. It's like if I go out and shoot a bunch of stuff and I'm terrible and I messed up,
Yeah.
I didn't get any of my settings right, I'm not going to beat myself up about it.
No.
I go back, I learn from it, and I understand what I did wrong. And then the next time I go out, I've done. Hopefully, I do it right or better at least, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Well,
just
I
my
mean,
advice. Just keep at it. Just keep practicing.
yeah. I always say you got to do it for yourself first, right? So, I mean, that's what it sounds like you're doing. You're obviously doing it for yourself first, right? So,
Yeah, just to
I
play
think
around.
it's super important. Yeah. Like, do
The
you
other
have
thing
family
is,
back in like the UK?
yeah. My mum's back there, my two sisters, and my niece as well, and
Okay.
their
So, are you showing them all
husbands.
these photos, or I guess they're seeing them on Instagram about Toronto and?
Yeah, well, my mum doesn't have Instagram, so I have to send those photos on
Yeah.
the group chat to her to make sure she sees them. But my sisters both follow me on social media and stuff, and so they see everything. My niece as well she's gotten really really good at drawing, which is
Okay.
amazing. Something I always wanted to. So she's getting nice and creative. But I think she enjoys them. I know she's got one of my pictures as her phone background and stuff like that. So
Nice.
that's nice.
Have they been to Toronto?
Yes, short answer, but they were when we were all very, very young. So I have family here. That's why I have the dual citizenship. So, when I was very young, we all came over together. But I'm the only one that's come back as an adult or
Oh,
a
really?
teenager or anything. Yeah. So
Oh, really? Oh,
I'm
interesting.
sure that they will. There's no way my mum's coming over. She's a bit too old to deal with the flight and all that ordeal. It's a bit too long for her. But my sisters are definitely itching to get over, and I hope that one day they do. I'm actually going back to England in August, so I get to see them then.
Oh, nice.
Should be
Where
nice.
in England are you? Where in England are you?
Lincolnshire. It's a small town called Bourne, which is in the middle of nowhere in England.
Oh, that sounds exciting. Is
Yeah.
it great for photography?
No, not at all. We do have the oldest oak tree, I think, in England, though. So
You gotta take a photo, man.
the oldest oak tree, I think, is
You
in
gotta take
England.
a photo of that, though. You can be like the go-to photographer there.
That's true. I just don't know how many people would come to me.
Well,
I guess it's a small town. It's about 10,000 people, I think.
Okay, you could be like the go-to person.
Yeah.
You could be like the blog TO of that town.
There you go.
I'll blog your town.
You
never know, man. Stranger things have happened.
That's true. I'm pretty settled here, though. I think I'll probably end up staying here.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Interesting. Cool, man. Well, yeah, you get your family to visit, and you can show them around. And are your sisters into photography too, or
No, not at
they're
all.
not into photography, so it's not like a photography trip. Where it's like let me take all the photos.
No, it wouldn't. But I mean, they like traveling, that's for sure. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that we could end up at some cool places. I'd like to go back out west. I went out west when I wasn't really into photography, and
like BC.
Yeah, BC and Alberta and Banff and like all that, the Rockies.
People go out west and they never come back. Eh?
Yeah, I did think about staying out
Toronto, there. They never come back.
I saw your video about Rondell going.
Yeah, he's gone. He's going to Vancouver. He's never coming back. So.
Yeah.
It's just like a West Coast vibe. It just depends on your lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
So did you see like the difference in lifestyle?
Yeah, it's so much less busy. I mean, the rental prices over there are still insane, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's the main stickler here.
Yeah.
It's the cost of housing so bad, and the cost of living now as well. But I did. It was a very, very different pace. Not very busy at all. A bit more chilled out. A bit more rainy too.
Yeah. You take
That's what I
photos?
like about the East Coast. Actually, is it's just a
Yeah.
totally different vibe out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't know until you go, right? Sorry, go ahead.
It's just Canada's very weird. I mean, it's the States as well, right? Like each province or each state is just like its own fucking country, essentially. Like it's all such different vibes between all the places.
Yeah,
At least that's been my experience.
yeah, interesting. It's not like that in like the UK, eh? Like, is it kind of like
There's a
standard?
bit, yeah. There's a bit more. They call it, I think, the North-South divide. So the North are a bit more similar, and the South are a bit more similar. But I come from the Midlands, and we're slap dab in the middle of everything, and we're too southern for the Northerners and too northern for the Southerners.
You're in the middle ground.
Yeah.
Are you close to like the Lake District?
No, the Lake District is further north, kind of close to the Peak District, though. The Peak District,
okay. Yeah, okay.
would be Derbyshire area, I think.
Cool. Yeah, I like the UK. I need to go back there. So maybe I'll visit your town.
I would not recommend.
I was actually saying, look, guess where I am. You're like, where the hell is Paul? Like, oh my god.
The Lake District is beautiful in England. So is the Peak District.
Yeah.
Cornwall and Devon are really, really lovely as well.
Yeah.
And obviously, like for city stuff, London, you can't really beat it.
No, it's good, man. I mean, again, like things just seem to be coming back to normal. So if Pearson ever gets their baggage thing together, then yeah, I mean, people can go on trips. So.
Yeah, I'm terrified that I'm gonna like take my camera and it's gonna get lost.
Buddy,
so bad,
no check baggage, man. That's all I can say is no check baggage. You just gotta pack everything in a suitcase. Oh yeah.
Take a carry-on and buy anything else you need there.
I'm not trusting.
That's the way to do it.
Oh, buddy. Well, especially gear. I don't check my gear.
Oh no.
No,
my camera gear is staying on me.
Yeah, it stays
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Rather lose my toothbrush.
Yeah.
It's easier to replace.
That's very true.
Yeah, man. Cool. Like what? Like so? Like do you have any like plans or goals like this year or next year that you want to get to with like photography? Or you're just like kind of like going like day by day with it?
I think I suffer from clinical depression and I have borderline personality disorder. I only got diagnosed with borderline personality disorder in March of this year.
Really?
Yeah, but it's something I've obviously had my entire life, right, since I was 16. But so that was a big thing. So I think I'm looking at trying to transition out of work and more focusing on my photography full time. That's why I'm trying to set up a website and trying to bring in some revenue from it, because this is, I think, what I want to do. So it's trying to live that life. So I'm working a temporary contract with the TTC, and I think when that's over, I go back to England, and then when I come back, I'll reset, and I'm going to really try and make something out of this. That's my goal anyway. Maybe I fall flat on my face, but I think that I have to give it a go just for my own sake. I grow tired of going to work to make another man rich and paying rent to make another man rich. I'd like to work for myself and decide, when I'm healthy to work and when I'm not, and have more control over things of my life. So that's the goal. That is the goal.
And are you just trying to help people that are kind of like in your situation too, or?
Yeah, that's the idea. When I have some more time, I would like to start doing some more volunteering, because with borderline personality disorder, it's very tough just for me to get up and go to work and deal with all those stresses and society in that way. So a lot of I haven't been out shooting for a while. Yesterday was the first time in a long time, and I only did it locally just because I've been having a tough time dealing with that side of things. So when I get home, I'm kind of mentally or physically exhausted. I don't necessarily have the energy to do stuff that I want to do. So I'm going to be looking to take a step back and really, really focus on this photography thing and see if I can get it to take me somewhere, or just end up in a position where I can just do more of this, because it's what I'm passionate about and what I enjoy, and it's something that's been really, really beneficial to me in dealing with my mental health issues.
Yeah, no, I mean, I couldn't, exactly, right? I mean, that's really the power of photography, is being able to like not only connect people, but also, have it serve like yourself too, right? So it's pretty powerful, man. Like it's, again, like people, see people's photos on Instagram, but they don't really know the person behind the photo, like they don't really know you like it and all that, but you don't know the person behind the photo, which again is the power of Instagram. Is like these are people and they have lives and such, right? So
Exactly. Yeah, it's all about connection, right? Which I think is a big
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Which is essentially what the internet was designed for. Was it was trying to, well, not what it was designed for, but there was a real kind of sense of you could get people, you could meet people that you would never normally meet in life, and you could learn about them and meet them, and do you know what I mean, and do that kind of stuff. And I feel
yeah,
like now as a society we've kind of isolated. Obviously COVID happened and we were literally forced to isolate, but everybody's
yeah,
kind of been getting a bit more antisocial to begin with before it happened. Everyone's on their phone all the time, but not necessarily communicating very
yeah.
correctly. And
This is
you know what
mindless.
I mean, like, yeah.
You should come to some Get Out Shoot meetups.
Yeah,
Sure.
come get out shoot me. And you meet a bunch of people there.
Yeah.
Are you?
I would like to. I ran into you, I think, actually, Paul, at the Harbourfront Centre.
Oh
Your
yeah,
card
yeah.
somewhere.
Oh yeah.
When you were doing one. There's a part of me that's like, no, I want to have shots that no one else had, but like it's so
Yeah.
impossible to do that in this city that my social circle has got so much smaller through COVID that I would very much like to fill it up with like-minded photographers and stuff like that, and really get to know new people and see, bounce ideas off each other and start creating together and doing different things.
That's the meetups give you a great opportunity to meet people that you can do collabs with, and
it's just fun.
Yeah.
Let me know when the next one is.
Yeah,
Saturday night.
Yeah.
Oh, this Saturday?
Oh, it's in Oakville, but yeah.
That one's in Oakville. But...
okay. Yeah, I won't make it out there. But yeah, the next time there's one in the city, I'll try and come along if I'm free.
Yeah, Bryan does like a lot of night stuff, so that's right up your alley, Jonathan. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I do like the night
walks. It gets like 80,000 people with him, so it's a small group.
Yeah. I think the smallest night walk we've had in Toronto is like 30 or 40 people.
Yeah, wow. That's actually small. Yeah, because people don't like walking by themselves at night, especially with gear. So when you're in a gang of 30 people, it's safe.
See, that's crazy. It's never bothered me. I've never even thought about it.
Yeah. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never.
Yeah, you never know. Some people just don't like walking.
Yeah, some people aren't comfortable.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially with gear, right? Especially with gear. So.
Yeah.
And if you're not like familiar with like the neighborhoods, and you don't know where you're walking to, blah blah blah. So anyway, so Bryan does a bunch of that stuff, so you can come up to that one.
Nice, sounds good. I look forward to it.
It's lots of fun, man.
Yeah,
now, have you ever thought of sorry, go ahead, Bryan.
I was just gonna say, I'm sure there'll be one in July.
Oh yeah, 100%. Hey, Suban. Like Jonathan, have you ever like thought of partnering with like CAMH or like one of the the mental health organizations, like associations, to do work?
I'm starting to now. Like I said, I'm going to try and transition into that side of it and start setting up some relationships of that nature. It wasn't something that had occurred to me before, and then I've only recently been diagnosed or whatever, right? So for a long time, I was I didn't like talking about my emotions or anything like that. I used to drink and do drugs and deal with things that way instead of in a positive way. So having found something that's extremely positive for me. I mean, since I've moved here, I transitioned into smoking weed and I've, calmed down a lot. And so that was already beneficial. But getting the diagnosis has been really beneficial, and they're helping me a lot. But I'm also recognizing a lot that just how beneficial photography and doing this is for me.
Yeah. Absolutely. Again, that's, especially being able to I think people can relate, because when people know your story, I think people that are in a similar situation can relate to that, right? Because they're going through it too. So
for sure, everybody struggles at times, right, with certain things. It just means that I happen to struggle a lot more than other people. You know what I mean? It's like a daily struggle. But yeah, everybody understands, because everybody goes there at times. Everybody feels sad or angry or whatever it may be.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you're doing well and that you're crushing photography. Have you ever thought about starting a YouTube channel?
I haven't actually. No, it didn't occur to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Just your story, I think, is powerful. So, just another avenue to connect with people.
Yeah, I'm trying to come out of my shell. I've been
Yeah.
isolated for a while because of COVID and some other stuff that's happened. So now this summer, I'd really like to get back out there and start making connections with people, because I
Yeah.
miss that. I miss that feeling of,
Yeah, it's just
community, I guess. Community. Like, I live in a big building. I live in an
Yeah.
apartment block, and I know my roommate's name and I know the building manager's name, and that's it.
And
I don't
that's
know any
it.
of my
You don't know.
neighbors.
You don't know
You know what I
anyone
mean?
else's name.
Yeah. And then
That could be a great. You know what? That could be a great project, man. Is getting like the stories of like your neighbors and have a photography like project around that.
That's a really good idea.
Could be
That
something.
never
I don't
occurred
know.
to me.
Be like
It's
the
just
humans in New
a
York,
bit of
but like
fun.
your building.
Yeah.
Humans in my building. The page is humans in my building. Imagine. I don't know. Well, just a way to like. If you really want to like get to know like your neighbors, it's just. That could be a useful project.
Yeah.
But
well, it's not. I'm not. I'm just talking in a broad sense of like. I just feel like nowadays we miss a broader sense of community. If you like, I feel like we're lacking, especially over COVID, where everybody. I left the UK after the Brexit thing, and everybody was very, very divided in England. It kind of split the whole country into two, and then it was nice coming back here and not having to deal with any of that bullshit. And then COVID's kind of, divided a lot of people.
Yeah.
So the extreme polarization.
Yes, yeah, which is becoming more and more prevalent in a lot of areas of our society. I feel it's very,
becoming very Americanized.
Yes, it's very black or white, right? It's very left or right. It's very liberal or Republican, which is crazy in a capitalist society that worships freedom the way that they do, to do the things that they do, but also to only have two political parties and no choice in that matter. It seems beyond insane.
Yeah. We don't need to get into America's political failures. That's a whole show in itself.
I think Elon's on next week, so we'll ask him.
There we go.
What kind of gear do you shoot, man? Just curious.
I have a D5600 and a couple of. I've got the zoom lens that came with.
Yeah.
A 35mm portrait lens, an f1.8. So I use that for portraits, and then I've got a longer zoom lens, which is 70 to 200, maybe 300mm.
Oh, so you got like the bases covered for you. Huh?
Yeah, and then I've got a tripod and an L bracket, and that's it. Oh, and a remote. I shoot long exposures with the remote.
I love it. Hey, we always say it's not the gear, it's photographer, because you can take great photos on your phone and no one really knows the difference sometimes. So
yeah,
it's all about understanding it.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about the gear. Like nobody asks, like, "What'd you shoot that on?" I go, "Oh, great photo." Like, okay, great, nice. Yeah. Nobody asks that, unless crazy gearheads might ask that. But.
Yeah, photographers are about the only ones.
like the public won't say.
What about you guys? What do you use?
I got a Canon RP, a Lumix G7 in my bag with various lenses, and that's what I shoot with.
I'm a straight up Canon guy.
Bryan's almost a Canon ambassador.
Probably like 10 or 12 different lenses. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Bryan shoots live theater a lot. So.
Oh, nice. How did you get into that?
So I actually fell into that by accident. I was walking around a farmer's market in town taking photos, and a magazine editor happened to see some of the angles I was shooting, asked me to shoot for the magazine. I'd only been shooting for about a year at that point in time.
Yeah.
Started shooting for a magazine and just met all these different theater groups and various other arts organizations within the city through the magazine, and they all hired me on separately from the magazine.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Timing is everything.
Yeah,
everything. Timing, and then like my Twitter post said the other day, just be ready to produce at any time.
Yeah.
Like I was just walking around downtown Brampton the other night, just for something to do. I go walk around all the time, and a couple guys were trying to get some photos in one of the laneways, and they saw my camera and they asked if I'd be able to help them out, and I ended up making a few bucks and got a new client out of it.
Just go walking around with the camera.
Just from walking around with my camera at night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important
and
to
just
be ready.
approaching people.
Yeah. Yeah, be
So-
ready and be open to the opportunity too.
Yep.
And don't be so closed-minded sometimes. Like, be open.
Just-
like, maybe this is something, maybe it isn't. But you gotta like see, right?
Yep. And just
that's
know that
great
you can
advice.
produce.
Yeah, you just gotta see and just ask. Like, the worst thing someone says is no. That's the worst thing that someone's gonna tell you is no. Like, no one's gonna tell you to F off. Like, I say, no, I'm not interested, you know? But
Oh, these guys asked me, they're like,
yeah.
do you know anything about taking photos? They saw my,
You got a
my camera. So I
Yeah.
handed them my Instagram and they were like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you know what you're doing. And then they said, would you be able to help our guy out here because he doesn't know how to use his camera?
Oh,
And I said, well, I could. And then they said, well, what if we just paid you to shoot it on your camera? I'm like, all right,
nice.
we'll do that then.
I'm glad they paid you.
Yeah, like he
Nice.
transferred me the cash right on the spot.
Well, nice people. Because sometimes they'll be like, "Can't you do it for free?"
So he's a small business guy himself, so he gets it.
Yeah, he knows. He understands. Yeah. It's important. It's important to be paid because
Oh, for sure.
That's true. Do you have any advice for me in that regard? How do I monetize this? Yeah. How do I?
Don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah.
No, like, yeah, know your worth.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Figure out how much you want to make, either per project, per month, per year. How much work, how much time you want to spend on the project. Like, there's a whole bunch of factors. Depends on how much you want to make, I guess, is first off.
Yeah.
How much you want to make first, like, establish that range.
If you're doing like a family shoot for somebody or something,
Yeah.
set a baseline for like 5-10 photos.
Yeah.
Just set a base that you're comfortable with and go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, because someone told
if you're
us,
licensing to an ad agency who's representing a city, you can ask for a lot more money.
yeah, and it's also like a hustle thing too, because if you're approaching people, the more people you're going to ask, the better chance of getting a yes. So it's also like a hustle game a little bit.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to take the step back from full-time work. Maybe start working part-time and then really concentrate on this and get that hustle going, and start reaching out to businesses and trying to form business-like relationships with people and taking this somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest approaching small business because you're going to have a better chance than approaching larger businesses. So go on Instagram.
That was my plan. Yeah,
research businesses that you want to work with.
Yeah,
and just start messaging them. Hey, I like your business for this reason, and this is what I'm doing.
Don't be afraid to do a couple projects for free too.
Yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with free because free. Yeah, honestly, like you also need a portfolio to show other clients. So doing some stuff for free, there's nothing wrong with it. But
yeah, that was my thinking. I've already taken some shots of some local businesses, and so I'm gonna edit those and present them to them and be like, this is the kind of content I could create for you. Just like have an example ready of stuff that I could do for them.
Yeah.
The only downfall with small business, and I've run into this a lot, is they don't have a very big budget for advertising.
No. Yeah.
So what I've done, especially with a lot of local small businesses, I've actually showed them how to use their phones to at least generate usable content for social media.
Right.
With the understanding that when they do get some money, I'm the first guy they're calling, because I'm always in there checking on them, showing them new tricks with the phone. So they can still create content even though they have zero budget for advertising because they are a small business.
Nice. That's a smart idea.
Yeah.
So put yourself in front of them on a regular basis too.
Yeah, 100%. Baby steps, right? Like you can be like the go-to.
If they don't buy
person.
today, they might buy next year.
Yeah,
100%,
exactly,
man. 100%. That's about building a business is not about transaction. It's about relationships, right? Where you need the relationships because those people might know other people, because the small business community is small, so they all know each other, right? So they're going to talk. And I met Jonathan, and he's great. I'll give him a call, blah blah blah. So
that's good, because I love that side of it. I love forming relationships with people. I've traveled a little bit. I've met, a fairly decent amount of people. I used to be a carer for 10 years, so there's a compassionate, empathetic side to me as well. So just because that was very relationship based, you have to have a good relationship with someone that you're caring for, and I've always carried that with me. That that's the most important thing at any job is the relationship with your coworkers and your relationship with the customers and how you get on. It's important to remember people's names and things like that. You know, your regular customers or something like that walk in, you want to have that rapport with them right away.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it's good, man. Plus, like, you're obviously passionate about it, so like when you speak to these people, it's gonna come across, right? So they're gonna buy from you, because in the end, people buy from people, right? So as you know, they trust you. They're gonna say, yeah, let's chat or whatever, right? So, but yeah, just always just constantly like just talk to people and see like what's up. You know, this is kind of my deal. But like Bryan, it's all timing, right, man? Like sometimes you ask someone, they go, "Yes, I need something tomorrow." So okay, great, let's talk.
This guy needed stuff fast turnaround, and
yeah, you just never know.
Now
sometimes.
he wants to book more shoots. So
yeah,
and he's a potential video client too. He wants some video work too. So
yeah, exactly.
Nice.
So yeah,
is that something you guys do a lot of? Do you do a lot of video work as well?
Yeah. Well,
Paul does
my
full-time
job,
video.
Yeah.
And then Paul and I both do
video
YouTube.
work for a landscape and pool company.
I've done a few music videos and do the YouTube thing.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer video or still?
Depends.
Myself? I don't know. I don't know. I like both. If I had to choose, I like the video because I like the power of editing something into like a story more. But that's just me.
Nice. That makes sense.
Yeah. But I like both. Like I can do both. You know, but I got that job because I did like small business interviews for like Instagram for free, and I basically leveraged that project to get this job that I have, right? So like, look, I did this work for these people and they liked it. Okay, we'll hire you, right? So that's the power of working for free, because now you have work, right?
Yeah.
You have work to show someone, and now it's like, okay, now you're hired because you've done that work before. Like, you're not just saying yeah. It's like, show me that you can do it. And that's the power of sometimes working for free, is that you do have that ability to show people that you actually can do the work and not just saying yeah. You know, so there's a nuance to it, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And like, you know, it's hard to price, and you know, I think we're all guilty of like underpricing ourselves. Someone told me, if someone says yes to you right away, your price is too low. You know, if to say yes right away, your price is too low. So, what are you gonna do, right? You can't please everyone, but as long as you kind of get what you think you're worth, that's all.
Last fall, I priced a client, and they said, "No, that's not enough."
No, that's not enough. See, you gotta get Bryan's clients, man. You gotta get Bryan's clients because they're so good.
They set me up with a new baseline, just based on their feedback. They're like, "For what you're producing, that's not enough. You should at least be this."
See what I mean?
I was like, "All right, well, that's my new baseline then."
There you go. See.
And the people that want it don't
not every client does that.
No.
I want to pay you more. Okay.
Oh, that's what they were like, though. They're like, you deserve more for what you're doing.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like, especially at the start, like when you don't really know, it's hard. But you know, have like a range.
Yeah, that's the thing I've had a real problem with. Yeah.
And go high at the start, and then you can negotiate down.
Negotiate down.
Because always go high, man. Because you can always go down. When you go low, it's hard to go up.
Yeah.
So always go higher first. But because you know what, they'll probably take you more seriously because you are charging more. It's like, oh, this person. Oh,
yeah, there's definitely some of that too.
He's charging money, right? So
yeah, that makes sense.
Man. Perception is everything sometimes. But yeah, well, hopefully, you know, this time next year, man, you'll be just crushing it, man.
I hope so. It'll
be good to get you back on, maybe in 6 months, a year, and see like where you're at. And
sure, I'd love to.
Hopefully you're crushing it. You're like the Blog TO of, you know. You're bigger than Blog TO. But it'll be good. Yeah, I think we're up against the hour, so I don't want to take up too much of Jonathan's time. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully this was
no worries. Thank you.
And entertaining.
I've really enjoyed it, man. I would happily come back on again. I'm looking forward to it.
We need you back, man. hopefully the webcam's working next time.
Yeah, I'll definitely try and have it working.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not.
It's so weird. We swear he's there.
Joys of live. Joys of
Yeah.
live.
Any final thoughts for the viewers, listeners, Jonathan?
No, just thank you for your time, I guess. I really appreciate it. Get in touch if you want to book me for any shoots or
We'll
for
follow
any
him on
prints
IG.
or anything. Just reach out. Even if you just want to shoot together, do a collab or whatever, I'm looking to start doing that. Like I said, I'd like to fill up my social circle with more like-minded creative people and get something cooking.
Absolutely. Love it. Yeah, make sure you go follow Jonathan on Instagram. Bryan, final thoughts?
Just get out and shoot people.
That's it.
And join Get Out and Shoot people.
Yeah. If you haven't, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
Yeah.
Because you got to hang out with Bryan and yourself.
Lots of Halloween workshops coming. We have to
that's
talk
happening
offline
soon,
about that, Paul. So
Is that happening soon?
yeah, Laura and I were talking today about building up a final schedule for everything.
Oh, well, Halloween
And there's
workshop.
going to be some Get Out Shoot and fashion forward collabs.
Oh,
one huge
crazy.
one, in fact.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah. So
That
just
sounds
picture an open number of photographers and a large number of models running around as creepy clowns.
Oh, nice. It's like a horror movie.
It would basically be like a horror movie.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Sick. That sounds great.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to get you on one of those, Jonathan. So
yes,
sure, I'd love to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
join Get Out Shoot because that's where they're going to be posted.
Would I think I'm a member already?
Excellent.
Love it. Thanks again, Jonathan, for taking the time, and thanks everyone for watching, listening, and we'll see you next week for something else.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Take care. Oh, he dropped.